All right. Here it's Clark, splashing home a three.
The Chicago Sky thought they had struck gold. The hype was unmatched, the headlines were endless, and the expectations? Through the roof. Angel Reese wasn't just supposed to play basketball, she was supposed to redefine it. But what happens when the highlight reels stop, when the social media glow fades, and all that's left is a harsh spotlight on the court? Today, we're diving deep into the unraveling of a superstar narrative, a story of missed layups, divided locker rooms, and a franchise desperately searching for answers. Is Angel Reese just going through a slump, or is she the cautionary tale that every young athlete should fear? Before we break down all the jaw-dropping behind-the-scenes details, the secret trade talks, and the harsh truths from teammates and coaches alike, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and join our community that isn't afraid to question the hype and reveal the real story behind the headlines. You won't want to miss this one. Let's get into it. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. We got the Chicago Sky general manager Jeff P. throwing Angel Reese under the bus. She strolled into the league like she owned the place, swag turned up to max volume, all the confidence in the world, and more press coverage than most rookies could dream of. The Chai Barbie was supposed to be the next big thing. The Chicago Sky lose again, the Chicago Sky lose again. Now this is actually something that's pretty funny. I need to show it to you guys. Angel Reese's teammates, they got her in the post again, but for some reason they're just choosing not to give her the ball. Fast forward to now, and the mood in Chicago has flipped harder than a bricked layup inside the Skyfront office. The smiles are gone, the voices are raised, and the finger-pointing has officially begun. Angel Reese isn't the golden child anymore, she's the cautionary tale being whispered about behind closed doors. If you think Reese should be fired, then comment "Fire the baby giraffe" down below. Let's go. Angel Reese is under fire. From the Chicago Sky general manager, the general manager names Angeles by name and says, "We need more." Out of a bombshell just detonated in the locker room, and the fallout is already circling the internet like sharks around chum. Word is the GM's done playing nice. Missed layups, check. Missed opportunities, check. Missed chance to prove she belongs, double check. Suddenly Angel's grip on this team is looking shakier than her jumper. That's something that has yet to come together, but it's a necessity for us to win. Pagioa said, "She's had some great games. And she's had some games like everybody else that haven't been her best, but she's our best chance at versatility on this roster. We need more production out of her, but we need her to help us in other ways too. We need more production out of her." Jeff Paglio has been seeing some of the disappointment, and this isn't your run-of-the-mill coaching critique. This was a siren, a full-volume desk-pounding wake up or pack up kind of moment. The confrontation didn't play out under the bright lights, it went down away from the cameras where the real truth usually surfaces. After another frustrating performance that had coaches gritting their teeth and fans checking the box score in disbelief, the GM, reportedly charged into the locker room on a mission. Reese has seen her numbers drop from her rookie season to her second in 2025. She is averaging 10 points on 35% shooting and 12 rebounds per game compared to 2024, where she posted 6 points on 39% shooting and 13 rebounds per game. To make matters worse for this guy, Courtney Vanderloot, she's out for the season with a torn ACL. Angel Reese, no PR filter, no coddling, just a straight-up verbal body check. And it wasn't about hustle, this was about basics. How many more blown layups do we stomach before we make a move? That question hit like a warning shot across the bow, and according to insiders, this wasn't the first time her name came up. It's been building quietly at first, but now the whispers are turning into roars. That's something that has yet to come together, but it's a necessity for us to win. She's had some great games, but she's had some games like everybody else that haven't been her best, but she's our best chance at versatility on this roster. Coaches and staff had already been reviewing footage, watching Angel flail under the rim like she forgot what finishing means, but her latest showing pushed the execs over the edge. Wide open looks blown, easy chances botched, plays that should have changed the game instead shifted momentum to the other team. It wasn't just bad, it was costly. Inside the locker room the energy was tense. Teammates sat in silence while the GM said what everyone was thinking: she might have been a star in college, but this ain't the Big Ten anymore. That wasn't just a reality check, it was a call for accountability. For once the smoke wasn't coming from Twitter trolls, it was coming from her own team. How come the first time we hear you call a player out by name it's Angel Reese? How come you went and you hired Tyler Marsh to be the head coach of this team? And then you co-signed him building an offense around Camila Cardoso, yet the first time we're talking about we need more from a player it's for Angel Ree, and not Camila Cardo. Last time I checked they both have been playing like garbage. That speech lit up the room with one crystal clear message: nobody's job is safe. The sky had gone Allen on Angel Ree, plastered her on billboards, hyped her up like the second coming, made her the face of the franchise, but now they're wondering if they invested in a highlight reel or a mirage. All flash no finish. We had pretty big significant expectations for the season, which is why I made the moves I made. His assessment was that the Sky's 2-6 need to improve everywhere going into to address the lack of cohesion on defense and poor shooting going into Tuesday night's loss. They had a league worst 91 points per game and were shooting just 39%. Angel came into the WNBA surfing a tsunami of hype, but now the wave is crashing hard. Chicago didn't draft her to trend on social media. They expected domination. Instead they're watching a masterclass in missed opportunities in her latest matchup, especially the disaster class against Atlanta. Her inability to finish was glaring. AEL Ree Part 40. Let's get it. My favorite shot in basketball, AJ Reese slug. We saw some improvement last night. They only lost by 18 and some of the layups hit rim. Bang. WNBA socials show Angel but not our teammates. Did you say butter? But butter, we're giving you free and open looks, you better cash them in. Girl, oopsie, she bricked layups so badly the glass probably filed a complaint. Point blank putbacks became momentum killers. Each miss deflated the team just a little more, turning every hopeful possession into a collective facepalm. Fans didn't need stats, they had eyes, and those eyes were seeing a player who looked more lost than lethal. Bring it back to the dipsy whipsy, give it a scoop for laps. She's right-handed, by the way. Did you know she's a great rebounder? She grabs that board really well. All the people there excited to watch her rebound. Look at that, watch out for that bounce line. If I'm her coach and I see this setup right here, I'm calling timeout. Nothing good ever happens here. Bing bong. Anytime she gets tied up for a jump ball, you know she's losing that cause she can't jump. The clips started flying. Twitter slowed down her misses frame by frame like it was the Zapruder film. Analysts broke down every brick like they were studying ancient ruins. Sky fans didn't hold back. They flooded comment sections with takes that could blister paint. Angel Reese was quoted as saying, "I put my head down and work every single day. I don't give up on anything. I critique myself the most. I know it's going to translate. I'm just going to put my head down and work. I know the results will show." Social media was a war zone. People compared her finishing skills to JV-level drills. Some said she talks like Shaq and finishes like Shaq's. In turn, others asked how someone with that much size can still manage to vanish in the paint. One thing was clear, the internet was done handing out benefit of the doubt passes. Angel Smollett, in her own words, yeah, obviously there's no place in this league for that. I think the WNBA team and our organization has done a great job supporting me. I've had communication from everyone, from so many people across this league, and being able to support me and going through this whole process. Obviously it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone, and I think they've done a great job supporting us in this. The WNBA is a joke, and even with Clark carrying the league on her shoulders it still sucked. But the damage wasn't just digital. Behind the scenes the vibe was shifting. Coaches looked like they were aging 5 years. Every timeout broadcasters tried to sugarcoat it, but the subtext was screaming. Even opponents started catching on, forcing her into bad angles. Just to see the meltdown play out in real time, you could catch opposing benches stifling laughs when she'd clang another one off the rim like a stunt double rehearsing a blooper reel. The Sky believed they were ready to compete for a playoff spot season, but a team could give anyone a fight. There's no sugarcoating how things have gone. They spotted early, lost slew to a torn ACL. They're near the bottom in the league, but offensively and defensively, after loading up on veterans, even understanding that growth takes time. This guy shouldn't have been this bad. It's like the league cracked the Reese code. Push her inside, crowd the lane, and watch her game unravel like a bargain bin sweater. The same physical edge that made her a college sensation has suddenly become the blueprint for exposing her at the pro level. And the worst part, when the Sky are gasping for someone to take over, someone to rise up and seize the moment, Angel's just there, present, active, but not impactful. Sure, she crashes the boards, and yeah, her energy is undeniable. But if energy was enough to win titles, Red Bull would have a dynasty by now. Well, that's a front office issue as much as it's an Angel Ree issue. If your front office and your coach is completely fine with one of your star players missing practice to go to this engagement, and to go to that engagement, then your general manager and head coach, they need to have a little bit more backbone. They need to say, no, this is a brand new team, we can afford that, Angel. But instead they co-sign it, they allow it, they encourage And they wonder why things look how they look, because let's be real, energy without execution is just chaotic aerobics. When you're drafted as a franchise pillar, trying hard isn't a badge of honor, it's the baseline. This league isn't handing out participation trophies. Every possession is judged like a courtroom trial, and every missed layup is Exhibit A in the case against your hype manager Jeff Palioa, allowing Tyler Marsh to say, "Yeah, Angel, go do your influencer thing," and hopefully it doesn't take away from your basketball play. And now the insiders are chirping. The same folks who couldn't stop gushing about her arrival are whispering about whether she got rushed into something she wasn't built for. Yes, her name lights up the trending tab, but trending isn't winning. Chicago's fan base doesn't want TikToks, they want W's, and the folks upstairs, they're out of patience. What started as cautious optimism has turned into cold, calculated evaluation. The missed layups aren't just misses anymore, they're symptoms of a larger issue of a player who might have skipped a few developmental steps because the marketing department needed a face. The front office isn't watching from the press box anymore, they're analyzing, calculating, preparing, and the unease isn't staying in the executive suite, it's seeping into the locker room like a slow leak in the hull of a sinking ship. This is an easy entry pass right over Brianna Jones into Angel Reese's left hand. We can do a sidearm pass right into Angel Reese's left hand. We drop it off to Rachel Banham, looking right at Angel Ree, and you know what this team would rather do? They would rather look at Angel Reese as just quitting at this point. She knows she's not getting the ball. They would rather turn the ball over on a shot clock violation than give Angel Reese the ball when she actually has post-position. Teammates are dividing on the surface. It's all high fives and post-game support, but peel back the layers and the unity's cracking. Some are still backing her, crediting her grit, her boards, her fight, but others, they've seen enough. Word is the vets have had it. They're done watching possessions get wasted because someone can't finish at the rim. They're tired of patching holes in a sinking game plan, and most of all, they're over the media mayhem that follows Reese like a storm cloud. This is a team that they might say that they get along, they might say that they're all friends and everything's fine in the locker room, but yikes, come on, look at that. Alicia Gay's back's turned to the BL, turned to the play. Brianna Jones is face guarding Camila Cardardoso, and Rachel Banham just refuses to give Angel Reese the ball, and the Chicago Sky get a shot clock violation. I'm not sure what's going on over there in Chicago. Behind the scenes it's getting louder. Players are reportedly speaking privately with coaches, voicing concerns that aren't just about gameplay, they're about fairness. If that was anyone else, would they still be getting these minutes? That's not petty jealousy, that's a team wondering if the rules are different for one player. That's resentment, and when that sets in, you're not just managing a player, you're managing damage control. Last year you made a powerful statement saying, "The reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too." I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too. A year later, do you feel like you're human? Next question. Angel Reese can't proudly accept the role of the villain, then beg people for sympathy. You can't complain about mythical racism, you can't create stories of fake racism that get exposed, then ask people to feel sorry for you. Up top, the GM is doing more than just fuming, they're strategizing. The word trade hasn't gone public, but that doesn't mean it's not circling the hallways. Sources say Chicago's already sniffing around the league looking for forwards who can bring efficiency without the drama. Ree isn't being shoved out the door, but let's be clear, she's being put on watch. Some think she needs a benching, others say a reality check might do the trick. Even the believers know the sand in the hourglass is running out. Caitlin Clark is more mature. Caitlin Clark has decorum. Go. Caitlin Clark obviously is jet fuel to its popularity. Caitlin Clark is far better of a basketball player and has made such a tremendous impact, in a greater number, more so than Angel Ree. Everybody knows that her college career was better. The stadium sales, the NFL, the NFL, the WNBA popularity has gone up because Caitlin Clark, and none of this is made easier by the spotlight she came in with. Every decision the Sky make with Angel will be judged, rehashed, and spun by every media outlet hungry for headline. But it sounds like the front office is past caring. One insider put it bluntly, the PR honeymoon is over now, it's about wins, and right now Angel Ree is starring in the wrong kind of documentary. When marketing hype meets on-court reality, she came in like a hurricane, bold, brash, ready to prove everyone wrong. But here's the reality: confidence doesn't convert. Layups, hashtags don't get buckets, headlines don't win championships. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is turning Indiana into a must-watch movement, while Angel's racking up misses and excuses, Caitlin's racking up records and W's. That's what greatness looks like. No noise, no drama, just game. I have yet to see a single example of Angel Ree being a leader outside of rebounding her miss layups. What does Angel Reese do? What is Her contribution, you tell me, because I'm not seeing it. I know I'm harsh on Angel Ree, but she considers herself a star. If you're going to call yourself a star, I expect you to perform like a star, especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was the only star on the court last night, and for 27 minutes she completely disappeared. The GM's drawn the line, the locker room split, and that ticking sound, it's not applause, it's a countdown, because this isn't just about shot charts and stat sheets anymore. It's about leadership growth and whether Angel Ree has the humility and work ethic to climb out of the hole she dug with her own hands. If she doesn't figure it out, and soon Chicago won't blink. No one is bigger than the franchise, not the name, not the brand, not even the Chai Barbie. And maybe that's the harshest truth of all. This league doesn't care who you were in college, it only cares who you are when the lights come on. So Angel Ree has two choices: evolve or exit. If you think Ree should be fired, then comment "fire the baby giraffe" down below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next. The sky over Chicago isn't just falling, it's imploding, crumbling under the weight of expectations, marketing illusions, and hard truths no one in the franchise wants to face aloud. Angel Reese, once touted as the fearless queen of the paint, strutted into the WNBA with her chin high, an arsenal of catchy phrases, viral dances, and a sense of invincibility as heavy as her jewelry. She didn't just arrive, she marched in as if she already owned every scoreboard, every highlight reel, every fan chant. The marketing department painted her as the next unstoppable force, the Chai Barbie who would catapult the sky from mediocrity into dynasty-level dominance. But basketball is a brutal stage that cares little for hashtags. Now, as the team scrambles from loss to humiliating loss, the front office is boiling over. Jeff Pagliacca, the GM who once showered Reese with glowing endorsements, now calls her out in a raw, unfiltered public rebuke. He's no longer mincing words behind boardroom doors, he's firing warning flares straight into the locker room. Reese's rookie season sparkled with promise. She grabbed headlines, dominated rebounds, and even looked poised to blossom into a leader. But beneath that early shimmer, cracks formed. This season's numbers have confirmed the worst fears. Her scoring efficiency has nosedived, her finishing touch resembles an amateur hour blooper reel, and her presence on the court has started to look ornamental rather than essential. The situation has turned Chicago's locker room into a powder keg of silent stares and whispered frustrations. Once adoring teammates now exchange loaded glances when she fumbles a putback or botches a wide-open layup. In practice footage, you can almost hear the collective sighs as she clangs another easy opportunity. Fans who once lined up for autographs now hammer social media comment sections, dissecting every missed bunny like forensic scientists at a crime scene. They no longer care about her social media engagements or her glossy magazine spreads. They want results, wins, actual contribution. And for now, Reese's narrative is an endless loop of apologies and promises to work harder, echoing into an increasingly empty void. Behind the scenes, resentment festers. Veterans who have spent years sacrificing, hustling, and enduring for this league feel betrayed watching Reese burn precious possessions. They know too well that reputations can't cash in for points. The big Chai Barbie billboards across town now feel more like haunting reminders of an investment gone wrong than proud endorsements of a star. Coaches, exhausted beyond measure, find themselves aged by a decade in a single season, having to spin excuses and prop up morale after each disastrous showing. Opposing players? They sense blood in the water. They bait Reese into predictable, crowded lanes and then gleefully watch her unravel, her confidence seeping out with every miss. Executives are no longer concerned about protecting her brand. They're focused on reviving a season that feels like a ghost ship drifting toward irrelevance. Her celebrity aura, once an asset, has become a glaring liability. What good is a TikTok queen when the team is sinking? And the domino effect is massive. Younger players begin to question fairness. Would I still get minutes if I blew this many chances? They whisper to assistant coaches, they vent to agents. In private, they ask the unspoken question: is the franchise protecting her because of talent or because of a desperate marketing strategy? Meanwhile, Reese remains trapped in a paradox of her own making. She wants to be adored, yet wants to be defiant. She wants to be seen as a hero, yet plays the misunderstood villain. She waves away criticism as hate, yet begs for understanding when the tide turns. The duality has alienated both her supporters and her critics. Insiders now speak of trade scenarios. Nothing concrete has emerged on paper, but the rumor mill spins faster each day. Reese isn't yet on the official trading block, but her name is scribbled in backroom brainstorm sessions. Her highlight reels now reviewed more like cautionary training tapes than inspiring montages. Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise only sharpens the contrast. Where Clark delivers record-breaking performances with surgical calm, Reese stumbles, all noise and no bite. Clark's achievements slice through the league narrative like a hot blade, while Reese's stumbles leave her stranded in meme culture. The locker room? It's divided beyond repair. Publicly, they smile, slap high-fives, maintain the illusion of solidarity. But underneath, the support network has frayed into shards of resentment and quiet disillusionment. Older teammates consider her a drain, younger ones see her as a cautionary tale. Even Reese's statements feel like echoes now, rehearsed, hollow, lacking the grit that turns a star into a champion. The franchise doesn't need another influencer. It needs a savior, a warrior willing to shoulder the grind night after night without complaint, without external distractions. Chicago fans, some of the most passionate and loyal in sports, are running out of patience. They came for greatness. They got missed layups and viral marketing slogans. The front office is no longer talking about potential. It's talking about survival. Reese stands at a precipice. She can adapt, silence the critics, and let her game roar louder than any tweet, or she can continue down the spiral of highlight reels that only showcase her failures. The clock isn't just ticking, it's thundering in her ears. She's no longer the golden child, but the canary in the coal mine for what happens when hype outweighs hard-earned skill. If she doesn't pivot, evolve, and seize the moment, the franchise will move on without hesitation. Because in this league, marketing can sell jerseys, but only warriors hang banners. In addition to everything already said, there are now unmistakable signs that the relationship between Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky front office has reached an almost irreversible breaking point. According to internal sources, emergency meetings are happening nearly every week to redefine the immediate future of the franchise. The coaching staff is standing at a crossroads: either keep Reese as a central piece and risk further humiliating losses, or start a full-scale rebuild and search for a more mature, steady leader. This situation has also started echoing across locker rooms in other WNBA teams. Opposing players reportedly no longer feel any intimidation when facing Reese. Instead, they see Sky games as scheduled wins, an opportunity to fine-tune tactics and pad individual stats. Journalists covering the league have reported that sponsors, who were initially thrilled by Reese's charisma and marketability, are now re-evaluating contracts and her public appearances. Some endorsement deals have quietly been put on hold, pending proof that she can still deliver on the court. Meanwhile, there's a significant impact on younger fans who once saw Reese as a symbol of women's empowerment and fierce athleticism. Their growing disappointment is reflected in decreased engagement across the Sky's official social media channels and a drop in young girls enrolling in Sky-affiliated youth basketball programs. At the same time, Caitlin Clark continues to rise like a rocket, playing with a calm, surgical precision that elevates the image of women's basketball as a serious, elite-level sport. The daily comparisons intensify the pressure on Reese and spotlight the glaring gap between charisma and consistency. Analysts have also pointed out that the team's medical and mental health staff are becoming increasingly concerned about Reese's psychological state. Sources close to her say she has shown signs of pre-game anxiety and struggles to absorb technical feedback, which could partly explain her stagnation in developing fundamental skills. Behind the scenes, Reese's agents are reportedly working overtime to control the narrative, pressuring journalists to soften critiques and seeking new sponsorships to shift her image away from on-court performance. However, each day that passes makes it harder to convince the public, and the front office, that this is just a temporary slump. In some internal discussions, a strategic break has even been floated, pulling Reese from games temporarily to focus on mental rebuilding. While drastic, such a move would likely cement a public perception of an early, spectacular collapse rather than a setback. At the same time, veteran WNBA players are indirectly voicing the importance of prioritizing training and skill development over branding and influencer deals. To many of them, Reese's rapid rise symbolizes the dangers of valuing image over substance, a harsh lesson for future generations of athletes. Ultimately, the Reese phenomenon is revealing a deeper problem within the WNBA itself: the imbalance between media hype and actual technical preparedness. Her story may become a case study in how public pressure, marketing deals, and social media hype can build a fragile bubble around an athlete instead of forging a true competitor. With each game, the countdown accelerates. With each blown opportunity, the gap between promise and delivery widens. And the Chicago Sky, a franchise that once dreamed of championship banners with Reese at center stage, is now grappling with the real possibility of starting from scratch, potentially without its loudest, most promoted star. Beyond what has already been dissected, it's important to mention that league insiders have noted a pattern in Reese's performance analytics over the past months. According to advanced metrics released internally and leaked to several sports journalists, Reese has the highest percentage of missed shots within 3 feet of the rim among all starting forwards in the WNBA. This stat alone has raised alarm bells in coaching meetings and has become a central talking point in player development discussions. In addition, her plus-minus rating, a measure of a player's impact on the game when on the floor, has plummeted dramatically. While she entered the league with a positive plus-minus, indicating that her presence contributed to outscoring opponents, the current season shows a consistent negative figure, meaning the Sky are regularly outscored when she's on the court. This has fueled arguments among staff about whether her minutes should be reduced or redistributed entirely. Sources close to the team's sports psychologist reveal that Reese is currently undergoing mental resilience training sessions to help her better handle criticism and performance pressure. These sessions are reportedly intensive and focus on rebuilding confidence, controlling negative self-talk, and developing pre-game mental routines. The urgency behind these sessions underscores how deeply the franchise believes her issues are now psychological as well as technical. Furthermore, veteran players around the league have begun to privately express concern that Reese's struggle might reflect a broader problem in the new generation of athletes, a system that prioritizes social media stardom over steady skill development. Several coaches have mentioned, off-record, that many young players arrive in the league with enormous fan bases but lacking refined fundamentals necessary to thrive against seasoned professionals. Meanwhile, sports marketing executives monitoring Reese's brand trajectory have noticed a significant dip in her merchandise sales and event turnout. Even though her social media numbers remain high, actual engagement, the kind that translates into jersey sales and packed arenas, has reportedly dropped by over 30% since the start of the season. Companies that initially saw Reese as a promising cross-market figure are starting to question her long-term value as a brand ambassador. Chicago's front office, facing increasing pressure from both ownership and fans, has quietly begun exploring possible trade options. While not officially on the block, Reese's name has been mentioned in preliminary discussions with at least 2 other teams looking for rebounding strength but wary of the media circus. The Sky's internal scouting department has already identified a shortlist of potential replacements, all of whom emphasize reliability and defensive versatility over highlight reel moments. Additionally, there's chatter among WNBA insiders that Reese's struggles could have a ripple effect on future rookie contracts and endorsement deals. Executives across the league are reportedly rethinking the wisdom of immediately turning rookies into marketing cornerstones without a proven professional track record. The Reese saga may push teams to demand more performance-based milestones before greenlighting massive marketing pushes or branding deals. On a broader cultural level, Angel Reese's current predicament is sparking heated debates among sports journalists and former players about the direction of women's basketball. Many argue that the league needs to find a balance between promoting charismatic stars and ensuring that the sport's competitive integrity isn't overshadowed by viral hype. In the meantime, Reese remains at a critical juncture. Her story is no longer simply about missed layups or an underperforming season. It has become a complex narrative about modern sports culture, expectations, and the harsh realities of professional growth. The decisions she and the Chicago Sky make in the coming weeks may define not only her career but also influence the future marketing and development strategies of the entire league. In the end, this isn't just about one player missing layups. It's about the fragile line between hype and reality, the dangerous dance between stardom and substance. Angel Reese stands at a crossroads: evolve and rise, or sink under the weight of her own brand. Chicago has already started to look beyond her. Fans are questioning everything, and her teammates are losing faith. The countdown isn't just ticking, it's roaring. Because in this league, flashy Instagram posts don't win banners, only grit, heart, and execution do. So what's next for the Chai Barbie? Will she fight back and prove she's more than a viral moment? Or will she fade into a cautionary tale, a name whispered in regret rather than cheered in triumph? If you want to follow every twist and turn of this story, the secret meetings, the insider leaks, the raw truths no one else will tell you, make sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and join our community. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. See you in the next video.